Raiders say goodbye to 3 players. Pete Carroll has already started the changes in the franchise, with a team that cannot maintain consistency in defense, much less in offense. The players who will leave the team are significant changes since their performance in 2024 changed games for the Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders enter the 2025 offseason with many uncertainties and difficult decisions to make after another disappointing season. The franchise needs to reorganize its roster to return to competitiveness. Coach Pete Carroll takes on the mission of bringing stability and leadership, but to do so, some pieces will need to be removed. The team has $95 million in salary cap space, which allows it to seek reinforcements, but that does not mean that keeping below-average players is a viable option. With that in mind, 3 names emerge as potential off-season cuts when the Raiders brought in Gardner Minshew. The idea was for him to be a transitional veteran, while Aiden O'Connell developed. However, Minshew has failed to deliver. His inconsistent play and inability to lead the team in crucial moments have made him more of a problem than a solution. With the team focused on finding a new quarterback, keeping Minshew on the roster could hinder that transition, while his release would save just $6.3 million. The presence of a veteran backup with starting expectations could create unnecessary uncertainty within the team. If the Raiders do land a new quarterback, Minshew's departure will be almost inevitable. Cornerback Jack Jones looked like a find in the 2023 season, but his performance has dropped dramatically. In 2024, he has allowed 8 touchdowns in coverage, an alarming number for a player who was supposed to bolster the secondary. While his release is not essential to free up cap space, just $3.3 million, the Raiders could decide to move on from him to pursue more reliable alternatives at the position. Furthermore, with Pete Carroll's new defensive philosophy, the priority may be to bolster the secondary with more consistent players, which would make it unfeasible for Jones to stay. The case of Andre James is different. He didn't have a disastrous year, but his position already has a natural replacement on the roster. Rookie Jackson Powers-Johnson took over as the starting center late in the season and is expected to be the Raiders' center of the future. That makes James a natural candidate to be released. If cut before June 1st, the Raiders would save $1.4 million if they wait until after that date. That figure would increase to $3.2 million. With the new management and coaching regime taking over, the team may simply want to move on with a new name. At the position, the Raiders need a quick rebuild to compete in the AFC West, a division dominated by teams like the Kansas City Chiefs and Los Angeles Chargers. The team must focus on finding a reliable quarterback, strengthening the offensive line, and maintaining a competitive defense if Las Vegas really wants to return to the playoffs and compete for titles. Keeping players who are not performing as expected cannot be an option. Cutting names like Menu Jones and James may be just the first step towards a brighter future. Now it is up to the new Raiders leadership to make the right decisions and avoid another year of frustration for their passionate fans.